Hi friends, we'll start a topic discussing the Indo-Bangladesh border. Already we have discussed that the Bangladesh shares the largest boundary of India, and let us have a look at how this border looks like. So how is this Bangladesh border? This is the country I have shown with the red and black dotted lines. This is the country of Bangladesh. Obviously we can see here it is surrounded by which states of India, and that is the important part of the question, that it is surrounded by West Bengal. This entire part is West Bengal. Then it is surrounded by Assam. Assam surrounds here in the north and also here in the south. In between Assam there is a Meghalaya, there is a Mizoram, and a small extension of India which I have shaded black here is Tripura. So what are the states which surround the Indo-Bangladesh, or what are the Indian states having a border with Bangladesh? Then the answer is West Bengal, clockwise Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. So remember, the Manipur is not there in the border. It is Mizoram, and while Manipur is not there, it does not share any border with Bangladesh. So these are the 5 states which share the boundary with Bangladesh. Before I start with the boundary of Bangladesh, you understand the phenomena that this Bangladesh is a low-lying country, is a lower riparian country of Ganga-Brahmaputra river system. Bangladesh along with West Bengal, because this was entirely one part of unified India earlier, so Bangladesh and West Bengal forms the world's largest delta, which is known as Indo-Brahmaputra delta region. So this is the Indo-Brahmaputra delta region. But there is a slight twist here, that the twist is the river Ganga in Bangladesh is known by the name Padma. So Padma is the name of river Ganga in the Bangladesh. River Brahmaputra, which comes from the Assam region and enters Bangladesh near Dhubri, it is known by the name of Jamuna. The combined waters of Ganga and Jamuna are known by the name of river Meghna. But there is also one important river which is meeting here, which originates in the Manipur-Mizoram region, and flows through the southern part of Assam, and then enters it originates near the hills of Manipur, flows through the southern part of Assam, and then meets the river Padma, or we can say the river Meghna, and it is the Barak river system. So the Barak river system is the third important river which forms the Ganga-Brahmaputra delta. So the Ganga-Brahmaputra delta is formed by river Ganga, which is known by river Padma, which is known as river Padma in Bangladesh, river Brahmaputra, which is known as river Jamuna in Bangladesh, and thirdly it is formed by a small but important river which is known as Barak river, which originates in the Manipur, flows through the southern Assam region, and then joins river Meghna or river Padma. So here to form a Indo-Ganga-Brahmaputra delta. That is not Indo, but form the Ganga-Brahmaputra delta. Indus delta is far away. So to form a Ganga-Brahmaputra delta, it is made by 3 rivers, that is Ganga, known as Padma, Jamuna, which is known as Brahmaputra in India, but Jamuna in Bangladesh, and river Barak. River Barak has 2 important tributaries. One tributary of river Barak, which is just to the north, is river Surma. And the other tributary of river Barak is Kushiara river, which originates in the Naga Hills region. Is the Kushiara river which originates in the Naga Hills region. This is just to have a general idea. Obviously we are going to do this river systems while doing the rivers of India. Now look here, what are the countries which surround the Bangladesh? Remember West Bengal here and also West Bengal here. This is also a part of West Bengal, that is Siliguri region and Darjeeling region, not Sikkim. Uske baad there is Assam, uske baad there is Meghalaya, again here southern part of Assam, and then Mizoram and Tripura. So these are the 5 Indian states which share the boundary with Bangladesh. How is the nature of a boundary? The nature of a boundary is a delta region. It is a flat region when the river is entering the sea, making delta. In this region, you know that river bifurcates into numerous distributaries, and इसीलिए the boundary between India and Bangladesh is a porous boundary. There is no natural hill There is no natural mound. There is no natural mountain. There is no elevated portion to demarcate the boundary between India and Bangladesh. There is a constant shifting of the rivers in this region. Isliye it is a porous boundary. It is becoming a political issue. It will be a political issue in the upcoming Assam elections or in the future elections. It becomes a political issue. You don't have to focus on the political issue. You have to focus on the issue which is in the news. But that is what is the current affair. So Indo-Bangladesh boundary. What is the name of Indo-Bangladesh boundary? What was Bangladesh prior? It was a part of East Pakistan. Prior to 71 liberation of Bangladesh, it was a part of East Pakistan. So any Indo-Pakistan boundary is known as Radcliffe line. So similarly, Indo-Bangladesh boundary is also known as a Radcliffe. It is known as Radcliffe line. So Indo-Bangladesh border, it is, remember here, known as a Radcliffe line. It is known as an Radcliffe line. As such, it is because it forms in the delta region of a river, as it forms in the delta region of a river. Remember, it is a porous border. That means it can be easily crossed into, and therefore illegal Bangladeshi immigrants are becoming a problem, especially in the states of West Bengal, especially in the states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram region. Why? Because यहाँ पे the racially people are somewhat different from this people, from the people of Bangladesh. Though West Bengal has more or less similar racial characteristics, यहाँ पे people are little bit different, and it is becoming a problem in this region. Because it is a porous border, there was no demarcation, proper demarcation of a border. What used to happen is some of the Indian territory was deep into Bangladesh. Some of the Bangladesh territory was deep into India. You can see here how Bangladesh has gone into India. What is Bangladesh here? This again I am showing this entire region which is in red color is the Bangladesh. So this entire region which is red in color is the Bangladesh, and therefore some of the territories were in India, deeply surrounded. Some of the Bangladeshi island territory. What you mean by island territories? Some of the Bangladeshi territories were deep into India. That means this territory was Bangladesh and surrounding territory was India. Similarly, some of the Indian territory, if this was an Indian territory, it was surrounded by Bangladesh. It was surrounded by Bangladesh. Obviously, the people here faced numerous problems. That itself is a different topic, not related to your geography, but your international relations. That itself was a different topic, that what kind of problems were faced by people. For example, agriculture land, electricity, nationality itself is a bigger issue. So as a result of this, Indo-Bangladesh historic agreement was signed. It was initially signed in 1974. So what is the current affairs? The current affairs is historic land boundary agreement between India and Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh land boundary agreement. Though it was signed way back, what did the land boundary agreement said? It was said that the Indian territories which were deep into Bangladesh shall be given to the Bangladesh, and the Bangladeshian territories which were deep into India shall be taken by India. So that means it was an agreement about exchange of territories by the two countries. So it was an agreement for the exchange of territories between the two countries. And Though it was signed in 1974, contentious issues, political compulsions made that this agreement was not finalized. It could not take place. But in 2015, in the later part of 2015, if you remember, Indo-Bangladesh an exchange of enclaves took place. That means the Bangladeshi territories which were deep into India were given the status of India. That means the people who were there were given a choice to return back to the proper Bangladesh region or accept the Indian nationality. The same happened to the Indians who were staying in deep Bangladesh region. As a result of this, some 7,000 hectares of land of Bangladesh India got, while some 11,000 hectares of Indian land went to Bangladesh. So as a result, there was an exchange of territories so that there is a proper demarcation of a boundary, and when there is a proper demarcation of a boundary, we can stop illegal immigration and associated activities such as passing of criminals, such as drug peddling, such as drug smuggling, illegal activities such as smuggling of banned substances. And as a result of this, or cross-border terrorism by using the Bangladesh as an hub for terrorism. So because the border was so porous, it was not proper demarcated, and there were too many Indian enclaves inside Bangladesh, Bangladeshian territories inside India. Therefore, the compulsion was that we exchange the territories. It was saying it is like your house ka one part is in some other house, the other house ka one part is in your house. Both of you will be disturbed. So what is the best thing to do? Keep the other person's house, the part of the house which is in your house, as a your house, and sign an agreement with the other person to take your part of the house which is in the other house as their house. It will be beneficial for both. So same thing was done by the Indo-Bangladesh in the exchange of the territories, which is now known as the famous 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. So Indo-Bangladesh Land Boundary Agreement was passed by famous 100th Amendment Act. To the Constitution of India. So remember, this is again an important part for the current affairs, that it was a part of 100th Amendment Act to the Constitution of India, which allowed the Parliament. Because why Amendment Act was required here? Because who is sovereign? Who is supreme? The people are supreme. The Constitution is supreme. The Constitution has defined borders, and if you want to change the Constitution, you should be taking, we the people, we derive our power from the Constitution, and the government derives the power from Constitution and the people, because ultimately we elect our representatives. So it was like a Constitutional Amendment Act was required to change the Constitution, to change the land boundary agreements, and therefore it was done by an 100th Amendment Act. So the one contentious issue, one problematic issue between India and Bangladesh was resolved by the 100th Constitutional Amendment Act, which is known as Indo-Bangladesh Land Boundary Agreement, which was related to the exchange of enclaves between India and Bangladesh. Remember this for your preliminary examination. If it comes, what is the 100th Constitutional Amendment Act related to? The second contentious issue is, you can see here, this part of is India, while this part now I am marking with red is Bhutan. The other part which I am marking now with yellow black dots is China. This part is China. This is the state of Sikkim. Now you see Bhutan and Bangladesh ke beech, here Sikkim, Bhutan, Bangladesh. Sikkim is the Indian state, West Bengal is the Indian state, but beach mein, to connect to the northeast India, there is a very narrow road which connects the northeast India to the main part of India or mainland India. Now this obviously is known as a chicken snake. If I try to draw here, how will be the chicken snake look like? The chicken snake, if this is Indian part, Tripura, Mizoram, and the state of Sikkim, and down Arunachal Pradesh, this is how the chicken snake look like. So this narrow part in which is the chicken snake part, that is the in the map of India. This is what I have drawn, only the extension of northeastern into India. This narrow part is the only transit route, only the connectivity between India and mainland India and the northeastern India. What has it related? It has related into isolation of northeastern India. What isolation? Also strategically it is very important. A different country down, a hostile country like China up, friend, enemy, this keeps on varying. Bhutan, though it is a friend, but it is a smaller country here to protect us from any kind of a dispute. Militarily, it is not that bigger a power. And isliye, though, so it is of a strategic importance also. Any day, a hostile country, maybe a government in Bangladesh changes and it becomes hostile to us, or China becomes hostile to us, it is very easy to cut this part of India from the northeastern India. And ideologically also, strategically also, and physiologically also, this is a very narrow corridor. And therefore, how to integrate Northeast India into India? By providing them economic development, by providing them better communication opportunities. Communication also involves better transportation opportunities, better flow of ideas, better flow of networks, better flow of transportation, better flow of infrastructure, better flow of earning capacity. Then only you will feel proud to be a part of a nation. It is true for every nation, not only India. But what is this? This a narrow corridor which is known as a Siliguri corridor or chicken snake. Why? Because it is as narrow as a neck of a hen or a chicken. This narrow corridor or a chicken snake is one other contentious issue. Because of this narrow corridor here, that is this part, or the chicken snake part of India, India is asking a transit route from West Bengal state to directly through the mainland Bangladesh into the northeastern state. That is, we are asking a highway or transit or an express roadway or something so that we can connect, so that a person who wants to go from West Bengal, Kolkata to Assam or to any part of Mizoram, Meghalaya does not have to go here through this narrow chicken snake, then Assam, then Meghalaya, then Mizoram. You can directly go from West Bengal to Mizoram if there is a straight national highway, if there is a straight highway, road, a better road. But Bangladesh is refusing the transit route from India to Pakistan, India from mainland India, that is West Bengal, to the northeast India. So this is the second problematic issue. One problematic issue is the border, which has more or less has been resolved through a land boundary agreement, through a 100 Constitutional Amendment Act. The second route is a alternative transit route to the chicken snake, so that even in the case of war, if China attacks India, the army does not have to pass through this narrow route. The more movement can occur through this route. But Bangladesh is refusing it, maybe because of the political compulsions in Bangladesh. So this is the second contentious issue. What India is doing, that I will do, along with what India is doing for this alternative, that I will do in the next lecture in the Indo-Myanmar border. That is in the coming lecture series, that we are, if the Bangladesh is refusing, now we are trying to go from West Bengal to Myanmar, from Myanmar to northeastern India, and thus through a sea here, through a river here, and through a road in this region. And because it involves major different modes of transport, that is ocean or seaway, after that navigation through river, upstream, and then road, and therefore it is known as multimodal way of transit. And what is the name of a project? The name of a project is based on this river, and therefore there is a Kaladan multimodal transit project. There is a Kaladan multimodal transit project. Transit project. Why multimodal? Because of different modes of transport, sea, river, road. And why Kaladan? It is because on the base of river Kaladan. India will invest in upgrading the port of river Kaladan. India will invest in building a road, and thus provide an alternative route of a transport or alternative route of connectivity between the mainland, that is West Bengal part, and the northeastern India. So this is the important points from the geography point of view for the Indo-Bangladesh border. What is the first? The states which surround the Indo-Bangladesh border, the river, that it is a delta region. The third important point is what is the land boundary agreement? How is the nature of a land boundary? So 100th Constitutional Amendment Act you should do land boundary agreement even for your mains examination, even for your international relations section between India and Bangladesh. And what is the chicken snake or Siliguri corridor? And in the next lecture I will discuss about the Kaladan multimodal transit project. So till the time we meet again, thank you very much.